Good morning to Brenton, Todd, Jeff. Good morning, sirs. Hot Bods, Bodybuilding Clothing, good morning. Michael Ducati, good morning. Nathan, good morning, sir. J Crop, Jim, GD Fan, good morning, hello, hello. Lassie 761, good morning. Morning, guys. Good morning, yo, it's Thursday. Oh my God, Todd, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I'm here though. Oliver, afternoon to you. Dustin, good morning, big dog. Mike Coyle, what is up? Thursday, back day. Came off a nice rest day yesterday. Man, I took, guys, Tuesday night. I was very tired. Keith Allen, good morning, but I wanted to ensure, don't change Jack's name. I was thinking about changing his name to Mendengo just to see if anybody in my neighborhood would pick it up when I call Mendengo outside. Keith, you watched the latest video? Thank you, sir. I hope you guys are enjoying the prison stories on my PG Braun Fitness YouTube page. More to come. So listen, guys, the prednisone was kind of screwing up my sleep a little bit. So Tuesday night, I wanted to ensure that I would sleep. So I took a half of a scoop of anesthetized. And let me tell you something. I slept hard. Marissa said she woke up a couple times in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and that I had not moved from the position that I was in. That stuff makes you sleep. A half of a scoop, guys. A half of a scoop. Now, you know, a whole scoop, whew, who knows how late I would have slept. I slept pretty late for me. I slept pretty damn late for me. But that stuff is strong. Good morning, guys. Tom, good morning. Good, Dustin. Keep it going, buddy. Flippo, good morning. Back day for me. Had a good one. Feeling good. You know, the pumps are a little off this week from the prednisone. But listen, the pain from the hernia is a lot better. So it's okay. Still putting the work in. And getting my cardio in now. Getting the steps in. As they say in today's world, it's all about the steps now, right? Annabelle, good morning, ladies. Good morning. Becca, get the ladies in here. I'll take it. Come on, girls. Jay Velez, good morning. So what else is going on? We're getting ready for the weekend. We got some fights this weekend. Listen, I'm a fan of Max Holloway, but I think Ilya Taporia is going to win that fight. But that should be an exciting fight. It's Christopher Luke's birthday also coming up this weekend. Shout out to Christopher Luke. I did a very good podcast the other day with Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding. Looking forward to that getting out, seeing what you guys think of that. Trying to stay busy. Current split, same as always, baby. I always go back to my roots. Complete legs on Monday. Chest Tuesdays, cardio only Wednesday, back Thursday, shoulders Friday, tries and buys on Saturday. Sunday we rest. We rest on the Sabbath. No cardio at all on Sunday either. A little bit of sex if you want to call that cardio. That's kind of like HIIT cardio. Although my style of sex lately with all the injuries is kind of more steady state. Low intensity, you know what I'm saying? Get that list cardio going on. She likes it. That's all that matters, I guess. Good morning, guys. Good morning. So the meeting with the Piss Lord yesterday, guys, very interesting. I had to drop some, some life knowledge on him. Beast Mode Castro, Rich Martin, Bruce, good morning, sir. He brought some coins to show me. And I wanted to take a picture of one of the coins and show it in my story. He would not let me do it. He would not let me do it. I said, well, that's fine. But then I can't let you have any products. you can pay for them. You know, it's just the way it is. So I had to give him a little lesson on that. Del Reach, good morning. Grant Morris, good morning. He'll figure it out as time goes. So we did BS for about an hour together. He broke it all down to me, the coin game. So it's Thursday, back day. Somebody asked me about the split. So the split's the same volume, plenty of volume. I usually do 5-6 exercises for back, 3 to 5 sets per exercise, depending on what I'm doing and how it's feeling. And my rep range is really in like a 12 to 20 range, which I start out on the higher side. I progress up in weight and the reps come down. But typically if I can't do something 12 times, if I get a little bold, and let's say I hit an 8, I typically don't go heavier than that. I keep my reps in that range. Very short rest periods. No piano treatment for him. Yes, Del Rey Micho was talking about Mr. Genova and the coins. He came by for a bit yesterday. Big Unlimited said, thoughts on methylated vitamins. What do you want to know? Are you talking about like specific forms of B vitamins? I've seen now, there's this Gary Brecka little like soundbite going around where he says, if you're taking a multivitamin that doesn't have those methylated forms of specific vitamins, then throw it out. Honestly, he does a lot for, it seems, shock appeal. I don't know where he gets most of his information on things. Although I've never been a really big multivitamin guy anyway. We did put out a multivitamin at Blackstone after a while, but we kind of loaded it up, you know. My partner Jared said, I'll load one up for you guys so you can have one, which we did. If you looked at the Blackstone one, it was 3 pills. It wasn't just a simple 1 a day Centrum kind of BS product. So I think what he says in that, as far as the Gary Brecka thing, is partly true. But I don't know how much people really put into their multivitamins anyway. A multivitamin is not going to make or break you, that's for damn sure. I wanted to support, but responded with a wild ass fee to give appraisal. He's crazy. He's all about the money. Del Rey Meach, anything for a buck. Funniest untold Genoa story. Oh man, I don't know, because I've told so many of them, to be honest with you, and we've videotaped so many of them. I couldn't even tell you, man, because we always had the camera on over the years. There were some stories that were sad, honestly, that weren't funny, that were sad, with Genova and him crying and me trying to talk him off the edge. You guys saw most of the funny stuff. I think you missed a lot of the sad stuff, really, and why I've always kind of been the way I've been with him. Thoughts on the animal packs? So basic, such a basic concept of putting a few things that you need together. Nothing revolutionary in there. I never really liked their marketing either. I know a lot of bodybuilders thought their marketing was cool, but it really was very opposite of what I thought was cool. Now listen, guys, I love bodybuilding. I love to train. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. But when I started out, good morning, guys. Good morning, Justin O'Donnell. Really my first hero in bodybuilding was Arnold Schwarzenegger, like many other people in my age group, right? So Beast Mode Jones, it's an honor to have you in here, sir. Shout out to Beast Mode Jones. Awesome. We got an internet celebrity on here this morning. So I'm going to give you guys a very quick synopsis of my opinion on bodybuilding marketing when I came up. I didn't think the animal the universal old black and white ads were that cool because they depicted bodybuilders as poor. And that was not really what it was about for me. Now, I originally started working out because I wanted to get bigger and stronger for football. And my passion with that in high school really gravitated to bodybuilding. And as I've told before, I taught myself how to work out with the Arnold Schwarzenegger, or the Schwartzopedia, as I call it, encyclopedia of bodybuilding. So to me, Arnold, this action star, this badass action star, in my mind, I was like, I want to be a star like that. That's how I wanted to be. I didn't want to be poor, living in a basement. I wanted to be a celebrity, an inspiration. I wanted to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. Man, if you were from the 80s and 90s, you're lying if that wasn't your motivation. So to me, the animal ads depicted the opposite of that. You know, the struggle. So to me, man, my first ad, and you guys remember, hey, Lord Ragnus, don't get me started on the fuck your freedom during COVID. That's a whole nother story. He sold out like many people do. But I'm talking about that classic 80s, 90s, before September 11th, before all the weirdness in the world, right? I was like, I want to make it like Arnold. That's the American dream. So that was what really fueled me. So when I first put my first ever Blackstone Labs ad in a magazine, the conversation we had was, what product do we want to put out? We've got a lot of cool products. We couldn't figure it out. I said, let's put out a brand statement of who we are. That's what I want to put out. So the very first ad that I ever put out in Flex Magazine, in Muscular Development, all the way back in, it was like we put it out in the end of 2014, right? It happened, I was on Instagram, right? And somebody was like, man, you're about to make your 2000th post. That's crazy. Because Instagram was still relatively new back then. And, you know, my page had taken off fairly fast. And people were like, that's so cool, you know, people love watching your stuff. You should put out something cool for them. So it was right around the time when I had just got married, and I felt like I had it all at the time. I had bought my Ferrari, my dream car, right? My first Ferrari. So I went out in the driveway one morning, and I told my, at the time, wife, I said, take a picture of me in the driveway. I'm going to put on these leopard. She was learning to sew. She sewed me these ridiculous leopard underwear, cheetah underwear that I would never wear. I literally only wore them for 5 minutes for this photo. So I went outside. I took the dogs outside. I had my dogs. I had my dream car. I stood out there in the driveway. I was in sick shape. Took a picture. And I posted that, you know, as a thank you to all my fans and followers for supporting me, for supporting Blackstone Labs, you know, making this awesome. I'm going to keep on putting out good shit. And it was a very, very popular post at the time. So I was like, you know what? Let's recreate that post, get a professional photographer to take it, and let's just run a brand statement, Blackstone Labs, to blaze your own path. So I dieted hard for like 4 weeks. I was already in good ass shape because I was only retired for a little while. Shalom, Sergey. Good morning, guys. And we recreated the photo. And what we did, we recreated the photo, and then we photoshopped the license plate to say BSL instead of whatever my, you know, license plate was at the time. And with the Blaze Your Own Path, what we did was we made the Blaze Your Own Path fire across all the houses and trees in the backyard. And then I signed it. We sent it in to the magazines. So the funniest thing is, Flex Magazine was much different than Muscular Development. Muscular Development was just like, cool, whatever. Flex Magazine was like, this is what you guys want to run? And we were like, yep. And they were like, okay. Like, they thought it was bizarre and strange. So months later, they actually told us this was the most popular, most talked about ad that we've had in years. In years. Like, everyone's talking about it. Like, who's the guy in the underwear in the driveway? What is this all about? So you see, to me, my plan worked, right? I wanted to be, at the time, I wanted to make it. To me, this was my version of making it in my mind. So that was my first ad. That was my statement. I took those magazines out, framed them in the wall at the office. 10 years later, we ran a similar ad, still blazing, brought it back. But to me, guys, I wanted to show what you could create with the discipline and hard work that comes from bodybuilding. So listen, as far as the products go, I don't want to bash another company, but I will tell you their products are pretty simple. They're pretty simple, basic products, and maybe you could argue that all you need is simple, basic products, but that's just not who I was or who we were. Little history lesson there. But now, to go back to Lord Ragnus' statement, like many people in Hollywood, he sold out. M&M's, the next big sellout, sad. Let's see, given how hot-headed you and Singerman were back in the day, you guys should be rewarded for your patience with Genova. I'll tell you, we both had a great deal of patience with Genova. Really, I spent a lot of time with Genova. Really, Aaron, it was usually just laughing at us. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Evil Dead or From Dusk Till Dawn? Such different movies. Such different movies. I think Evil Dead, though, overall. You got the Evil Dead 2. Started the gym, re-racking at 12. Used to run at Bally's and did consulting for GNC at the same amount. Crazy shit back then, especially crazy supplement companies. The Weeder, Twin Labs, Metric says, yeah, Big Unlimited. Those were the fun times, man, the good old days. I was actually talking on this morning, there was a post this morning about, the greatest supplements of all time and whatnot. And, I really enjoyed the 90s. The original ECA stack supplements were just amazing. In a common one that a lot of people may not remember, but I believe the company was American Bodybuilding, had a ready-to-drink drink called Speed Stack. And man, you go into a gym, $2, whatever, $2.50, shake that bad boy up, drink it before you train. It was awesome. It was an awesome product. Let's see what else we got here. How's the new place? Coming along great. Thank you for asking. Jack is getting used to the steps. He's doing better. I'm re-crate training them. Best HGH dose and time in your opinion? Do I use AM and PM or 1 p.m. at 4? So listen, I think that here's something I want to talk about with growth hormone. I think a lot of people use fake growth hormone. And I'll tell you, when I was competing, I know for the most part, I only used fake growth hormone because once I retired and could afford different connections and meet with different actual doctors instead of, Joe Bodybuilder from the gym, I realized how different things are. So a lot of bodybuilders that are talking about these crazy dosages that they do, I promise you, they're doing fake growth hormone. They're absolutely doing fake growth hormone. I promise you. Now, then, of course, we'll have other guys that have just really worked their way up, over time to higher doses. I don't know how it's done, to be honest with you, because once you get real growth hormone, and we'll start out with Serostim, right? Which is kind of like, Serostim's like the Toyota Camry of the growth hormones. It's very common. You find it all over the place. It's good at what it's supposed to do. So your Serostim, right, is a 6 milligram as far as the dosing goes. You'll see different milligrams as far as growth hormone goes too. And this is important for you guys to understand when you're talking about 1 IU, 2 IUs, 3 IUs in different growth hormones is not equal. For instance, the Pfizer Norditropin pens, right? I have 12 milligrams that I've come across before. So essentially double the dose. So if you were doing 2 units of that Serostim versus 2 units of that Norditropin, it's actually double the dose when you do the Norditropin. So Genotropin, Norditropin, there's these different kinds of growth hormone that are out there. So here's what I have found for most people, the most beneficial dosing for bodybuilding at the recreational level. Not trying to compete, but want to look great, feel great, is going to be somewhere around 2 or 3 IUs. Perhaps as low as 1 and as high as 4. So I'll say a 1 to 4, give you a broad range, but it's probably 2 or 3. 2 or 3 for me is fantastic with the Serostim. And I prefer to have it before bed. Before bed, if you're doing a single dose of growth hormone, is the optimal way to do it. Now, the second best time, as long as you're not going overboard with your dosing, is the post-workout dose, immediately post-workout. Not first thing in the morning. They used to tell you to do growth hormone first thing in the morning because your growth hormone levels are the lowest, but if you're looking for the most risk or the most reward versus risk, the better effect on blood sugar levels, the before bed is the best way to do it. Sergey Lee says, free Diddy. God bless baby oil. I'm with you there. Take that. Have I seen Terrifier 3 yet? No. I have seen Terrifier 1 and 2. They're both terrible. And I don't know if I'm just mad that people made me watch these movies. Nobody put a gun to my head and said I had to watch them. But so many people were excited about Terrifier 3 that I was like, man, I gotta watch these movies. First one, horrible. Although it was funny when he sawed the girl in half. Second one, a little bit better. The acting is terrible. It looks like it was all shots on an old iPhone. I don't think the character is good. I don't know. You guys are easily impressed, I guess, these days. I think that part of it is because I'm watching so many scary movies that I wanted more from it. I laugh when these guys are taking 12 IUs of growth. Listen, guys. People tell me that they're doing 12, 16, 18 IUs. I don't know how that you can do that. I screwed up when I first got, when I first got the Norditropin pen, I screwed up. My math, make fun of me all you want, my math was wrong. My math was wrong, right? So I blew through this thing. I blew through this pen in like 8 days. And let me tell you, my hands were so fucked up that I could not do anything. And I was waking up with my hands wrecked after just a week of that. Once I had figured out the dosing and lowered it, I literally had to come all the way off for 2 full weeks to start back over again. Now, this happened to me years ago also with Serostim. When I first got my first real kit of Serostim, I was like, I'll just do 5 units. That's a good dose. I started blowing up with water, and after a couple weeks, my hands got really, really messed up. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? I started over. I did 1 unit for a week, 2 units for a week, 3 units for a week, and I noticed that my hands started getting a little weird after the 3 units, and I left it there. That was my, as a retired bodybuilder just wanting to look good, 3 IUs is plenty. Now, I will tell you, you guys remember I was very sick at one point where I kept on having to get iron transfusions, and I was going through all kinds of shit with the Epstein-Barr virus. During that time period, I actually went to 4 units, and the 4 units actually helped me quite a bit because I was so frail and weak and beat up. And it actually made a significant difference. But at the same time, when your iron is that low, it screws up everything. Hematocrit was terribly low, blood pressure was low, red blood cell count was low. So mineral balances were different. My whole body chemistry was out of whack. I was able to handle that, and it helped me in that sense. Now, where things are all in a healthy range, you know, the 3 I units of GH is great. Yeah, 12 guys, these guys, Justin, 12 is crazy, man. Listen, more than 6, some guys, if you work your way up to it for a while, you know, splitting the dose up, more than 6, you're gonna have side effects. 12, yes, Lord Ragnus. I got guys telling me 18 all the time. Have you ever been contacted by a woman that claimed that she has a baby from you? No, hell no, Sergey Lee. My pull-out game was second to none. Second to none with my pull-out game, Sergey Lee. Bo Lewis, good morning, sir. Trash Miniatures. Brandon Rogers, good morning, guys. Swayzilla says that thin BSL hoodie you're rocking, those are the best. Need to get a new one for sure. Listen, they haven't made these in years. These thin ones. You know I have all the OG Blackstone stuff. Perhaps the reason to do it in the morning is when you're in a fat loss stage. Yeah, I think you can still benefit from the fat loss effect of it, you know, post-workout. I think overall the physiological effect that you get from it is going to be beneficial regardless. You know, we're splitting hairs there. It may be a little bit better, of course, for the fat loss stage in the morning. Would before a dose inhibit your natural production while you sleep? No, guys, you don't want, once you're taking stuff like this, thinking about natural production goes out the window. We don't even worry about natural production anymore. There's no comparison. It's the same as worrying about natural production of testosterone when you're taking 500 milligrams of testosterone cibinate a week. That goes out the window. To compare what your body may be able to produce during sleep with what you're going to get from taking, for instance, 3 IUs of Serostim before bed, it's like comparing the engine of your lawnmower, you know, to a Formula One engine. Disturbed or Slipknot? What kind of question is that? Who in their right mind takes Disturbed over Slipknot? Slipknot's in my top 3. The Terrifier movies are just cringe. Yes, they're very cringe. Extremely cringe. Danny Boy Jordan, good morning. My love, good morning. Hi, babe. 30 Days of Night was a pretty good one. Jessica Simpson, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you on here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. You know about the Hulk hands. Oh, my God, thank you so much. We're coming up on Monday. We go for the big 20 weeks checkup. Very important one. Some sort of imaging that we get done where they look at all the blood vessels and everything. So we got that coming up on Monday. But everything's been great so far. Thank you so much. Is there truth that Jay Cutler is Jewish? No, I don't think so. I never heard that. Hilarious though. Matthias Rico, my friend, good morning. Pull and pray. I accidentally did my math wrong and I was doing 14. Yeah, man, I was like, what? When you do the math wrong on that stuff, Justin, it hits you fast, man. It's why I know that I don't understand what guys are talking about with these doses. Good morning, Bo. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Listen, guys, one year, me, Akeem Williams, and Eric Ramirez, we went to Mexico, right? We were in Guadalajara. And how big is the fetus right now? The fetus is the size of a mango, a large mango, they say. So listen to this one, guys. You guys will find this interesting. Me, Akeem, Eric Ramirez, we're in Guadalajara, I believe it was. And we had, these guys were giving us the preferential treatment, right? And so I don't speak Spanish, but Eric Ramirez was translating for me. And he was like, listen, these guys say whatever you need. We can go to the pharmacy, whatever you need. And I was like, man, I'd love to get some GH while I'm here. So we go into the pharmacy and we each buy a pen. And man, the conversion, I couldn't believe how cheap it was. It was so much cheaper than what we pay here. So we each got a pen, me, Akeem, and Eric. Now, when we had gotten them now, right, we literally only had like 3 more days left. And each one of these pens was 36 IUs. So you can't take it back with you. So I was doing it basically like every 4 hours, right? And it was so funny because it was 24 hours in. I was like, man, I can't take any more of this GH. The girl that I was dating at the time, I FaceTimed her. I had just gotten out of the shower. I was brushing my teeth. She goes, are you like really swollen right now? And I was like, I don't know why. And she was like, you look like you just went to the gym. I had literally filled out like 10 pounds of water on the GH, right? So it was so bad that I was brushing my teeth and my hands were cramping. So I was like, man, I didn't want to waste it. And I knew that Akeem could use it, you know, over me, right? So I was like, hey, do you want the rest of mine? He was like, sure, right? We went to dinner that night, man. Akeem was like falling asleep at the dinner table. It was so funny. Me and Eric were looking at him. He was like nodding off. We all went to bed early. And we're flying home the next morning. And Akeem, who's a huge guy anyway, he's a monster of a guy anyway, comes walking through the airport. And we both just started laughing. His arms looked like they were like 25 inches. I mean, he was so big, veins pumping out everywhere. And I was like, dude, did you finish all of the GH? He was like, yeah, smiling. I was like, bro, you look like you gained 20 pounds in 24 hours. But we didn't want to waste it. That's the bodybuilding mindset. You know, that's how it was. Let's see here. What else we got going on here? Funny story down memory lane there. I'm doing 45 minutes night cardio after lifting. What's optimal? Listen, get your cardio in. Get it in. I like to do my cardio after I work out also. I happen to work out early in the morning, but you know, listen, I would do it one of two ways, guys. I would do it one of two ways. I would either do it right after my workout, or I do it fasted. Those are the two ways I prefer to do cardio. Now listen, Evan Centopani, when we were young, he used to like doing cardio a little while after a meal because he felt he could really crush his high-intensity cardio like stairs harder. And that is definitely true. But for me, I just felt morning, empty, nothing in my system. I get it on, get it out of the way. I sweat hard, and I know I got it done. If I had to do second sessions when I was training for shows, listen, if you're training for shows, you're going to get to a point where you're probably doing 2 hours of cardio. Some guys are just genetically crazy and don't have to, you know. God bless them. I was not one of those guys. So it was common for me to have to do 2 45-minute sessions of cardio. One year with Dave Palumbo, I had to do 3 hours of cardio. And I did it. So if you're just trying to nail it all in one day, man, just do your workout and do the cardio right after. But don't do the cardio before you train. It'll affect your workout. The workout is most important always. Who had the biggest potential from your era, mid-2000s, among bodybuilders, amateurs who didn't reach their potential due to laziness or dumb decisions? So, there are people who probably made dumb decisions or lazy decisions that I don't know about, to be honest with you. I think bodybuilders typically surround themselves with like-minded individuals, so I had some damn workers around me. But I'll tell you, I think of anyone that I was with in that time period that genetically had the craziest potential, but not laziness, not dumb decisions, work ethic to go with it, that didn't reach their potential, was Evan Centopani. And I will say this because of two things. One, he unfortunately got some injuries. And two, I'm just telling you this, guys, from what I know of Evan and how close of friends we were, he didn't even come close to using the gear that guys at that level are using. He just didn't. And I felt personally, if he went hard with insulin and GH and things like that, he could have been a true fucking freak show, but at what cost? He has his health, he's got an amazing family. You know, I would have conversations with him in our mid-20s. He was already a pro bodybuilder who had won his first 2 pro shows. At the time, the only other person who had done that was Flex Wheeler and then, of course, Phil Heath. It's just unheard of to just show up like that at friggin' 25 years old. He was not abusing anything. He was using what would be considered really conservative doses. And we didn't have a relationship where he would lie to me. We would toss back and forth our ideas on shit. So, you know, people would see him and be like, how much shit is he on? And I'd be like, not that much, actually. You know, I wish he would do more. So, outstanding work ethic, outstanding genetics, unfortunately, injuries, and never pushed the gear hard. But like I said, I think he's living his best life now. Healthy, happy, he's got a great family. Imagine there will be a WWE Royal Rumble match against you versus Ric Flair, Steven Seagal, Al Sharpton, Vince McMahon, and Scott Steiner. You'll have to pick 4 people from the bodybuilding industry. So hold on, this is a hard one here. I'm going against Ric Flair, Steven Seagal, Al Sharpton, and Vince McMahon. Oh, and Scott Steiner. So that's big. I got to pick 4 more people from the bodybuilding industry. Okay, all right, here we go. I'm taking... All right, who am I taking? Woo! I'm taking Mike O'Hearn. Kai Green. I'm taking Michael Hearn. I'm taking Kai Green. I'm taking, what's his name? The Mountain. The Mountain. Michael Hearn. Kai Green. I'll get Branch Warren in there just for some power. And Iris Kyle, because it would be cool to have an enforcer woman in there. And you know she would mess some shit up. That's my lineup right there. What do you think? Good morning, everyone who's come on. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Guys, good morning, good morning. Big Lenny had the biggest potential, but he was too good for stage. I know it. He definitely had the best midsection / torso. You can't stop that. Yes, Hafthorne Bjornsson, baby, the Mountain. Solid picks, right? Sergey, I don't know if you were on here when I first brought this up in conversation, but I did meet with Genova yesterday. He brought me some coins to see and teach me about, he gave me the full breakdown on all the coins. He would not let me take a photograph of any of the coins. He would not let me. He said people would know they were his and know that he was with me, and it would cause too many problems with his family. It's shocking the extreme that they have gone to with this, but then again, I feel sad for him that he lost his place to live over people trolling him and his family on the internet. It's that crazy that this has happened to poor Genova. Sergey Lee, there were like, silver dollars, old collectible coins. Silver, gold, he collects precious metals. He said one of them was worth $300, He's preparing for the apocalypse. So I'm 43 minutes in, guys. I got the brace on. I got the hernia brace on. I'm feeling okay. We've made it so far. Doesn't Genoy still stay in the same home? So he lives with his mom. He had a condo that his grandma was paying for. And what happened was all of the drama from the trolls that started going after his uncle's business and harassing him. They harassed him so bad that it caused so many problems with the family that the grandmother said, I'm not paying for his condo anymore. Get off, I want him off of social media, yada, yada, yada. And that's it. So he lives with his mom now. It's a shame he had a big channel. Could have been making money. Yeah, he actually told the truth, finally, about the channel yesterday. Or at least I think he was telling the truth. I said, in your prime, how much money were you making on YouTube? He said about $2,000, $2,100 a month. So I think that's pretty believable compared to the, hundreds of thousands of dollars that he used to say that he was making. I don't know anything about how YouTube payment works. I'm not, Blackstone, we never tried to monetize it, and now I'm brand new starting over. So, but I think that seems pretty believable to me based on the following he had and the way the videos were doing. No, Lassie 761. I always get the truth eventually from Mr. Genoy. I just make him tell me. The key with Genova, guys, is you ask him the same questions, but from different angles multiple times until the truth comes out. That's how it works. The first thing you get is not going to be the truth. And if he offers it without you asking, it's definitely not going to be the truth. Yes, Lord Ragnus, I think I will be able to. I have to set, actually, I'm not going to talk about that right now, but yes, I believe it's going to be soon, actually. Yes. Why do you think Palumbo is so popular among much younger women? You think it's just money, or, well, if you guys have been around long enough, you know that there was a woman who at one point said that he had a penis like a wine bottle. This is going way, way far back. So, you know, I think that that is extremely appealing, right? Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, I will let you know, man. I got to figure all that out, how it's going to be done, Lord Ragnus. It's not going to be like as simple as I thought, but it will work out, yes. Palumbo is jacked now. I'm proud of him. He asked me if I wanted to be a regular on the After Hours radio. I gotta reach back out to him. I love Dave. Love Dave. Love Dave. Love those guys. He has giant feet. Giant feet. Mr. Palumbo does. Especially for his height. I'm gonna stay on for a few more minutes, guys. It's Thursday. I hope you're all doing great. Election time coming up. I hope you all vote for Trump. Get out there and vote. After Hours is boring as fuck. Hey, at least you're being honest about it. I will, by the way, I'll let you guys know when the Desktop Bodybuilding podcast comes out. It was a very good one. I enjoyed it. I got to get on Cutler Cast next. Welcome anybody who's jumped on now. I'm getting ready to get up out of here soon. Do I have to do cardio the day after leg day? Well, that is a good question. I actually think doing cardio the day after leg day will benefit you and speed your recovery, especially if you're doing steady state cardio, because you'll get your circulation going, get that lactic acid out there faster. Now, when I was training, back when I was very serious with my training, I did not do cardio on leg day, meaning when I did legs, there was no cardio afterwards, which now I do. Much different priorities. Also, I was training my legs so hard I couldn't even walk. I think it's okay to leave the cardio out at that point, but the next day, absolutely beneficial to do it. Steady state. Now, I will tell you guys, once I started getting closer to my shows, I didn't have that option anymore. Pinhead or Jigsaw? I'm a big Jigsaw fan. Love me some Saw. Keith, let me know how it goes, man. Good luck with it. Should help you out. Listen, I got the prednisone pack on Friday. I finished it yesterday. It was dramatically helpful for me. All right, guys. Almost time to get up out of here. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Dean Anthony Mira. Good morning, Mike. Dane. Good morning. Good morning. Appreciate you guys coming on here. We got one more good cardio session coming tomorrow. Thank you guys for following along with the new YouTube page. I appreciate the subscribers and the love. I hope you guys enjoy the video content. Throw some comments down there. Let me know what you want to see next on the YouTube videos. I appreciate it. And no, Serge, I don't see anything wrong with a little bump and grind. In fact, I don't think anything was wrong with R. Kelly's bump and grind. Call me crazy. I don't think he did anything wrong to those young girls. Thank you, Lord Ragnus. I'm going to get some training content pretty soon, actually. Chris Graham is coming down here. We'll get some training stuff in. I love to do the training stuff, so faux show. Since we'll have election, your favorite participant of a Apprentice TV series with Trump? Wow, that is a very good question. We're going very far back. The Apprentice was really not a success when Trump wasn't there. What was there was a very pretty and ruthless, really ruthless but pretty black girl that was on there. I liked her. Her name is not coming to me right now. And she was a lot of people didn't like her, but I did like her. Serge, who am I talking about? Who am I talking about? We'll stay on for that because I know you're going to know. Great Apprentice participant, though. Good morning, Edward Matthew. Yeah, The Apprentice. Arnold bombed on The Apprentice. Omarosa. Yes, Omarosa. I loved Omarosa. People didn't like her. They thought she was evil. I loved her. And I thought she was hot. Maybe I just liked her because I thought she was hot. I don't know. She fucked with Pierce Morgan, yes. Yes, taking it back, man. Woo. Taking it back. All right, 50 minutes, and now the hernia is starting to hurt a little bit, so that's it for me. 51-41, we'll take it. I thank you guys for doing this for me today. I appreciate you all. I hope you're having a great end to the week. Have I tried Adderall? Yes, I actually have had a prescription for it. I've done it without a prescription. I've abused it. I've figured out a very beneficial therapeutic dose of it. What do you want to know? Therapeutically, I found for me, I was doing the 10 milligram blue ones usually once in the morning and sometimes a second one. My dose was for 2 a day in the afternoon. The problem is, as my issues with sleep got worse as I grew older, that PM dose wasn't as beneficial for me as the morning dose. Now, I can also tell you that I went crazy with it and I got up to doing 80 milligrams a day, which I do not recommend at one point, which is when you're just basically, speeding yourself out. I strongly don't recommend that. What do you think about Superdrol when starting a cycle with test and NPP? It's funny that so many people have been talking about Superdrol lately, which was really sold as a pro-hormone for a while. It's strong oral. It works fast. If you can get real Superdrol, I don't know where you would get it these days, but if you get real Superdrol, then 30 days to kickstart a cycle. I mean, it works fast, man. You're getting strong within the first week or two. So for sure. Do you continue to shave your whole body after competing? No. So I got very lazy with it. And I did shave before we had any private time together on our furlough together, because I hadn't had anything near my pubes in, over a year in prison. You don't really do stuff like that in prison. It's not a priority to have shaved pubes in prison. Maybe some guys it is. So fortunately for me, I'm not that hairy. So I do trim my pubes. And then the rest of my body, I just leave it alone at this point. If it gets bad, I'll knock it out, but I'm really not that hairy. I'm lucky in that sense. Superdrol injectable, I can't say that I've ever tried it. I've never tried it. I've tried S23 injectable, which was crazy. Help to Jason hook up with the chick so he'll move her mommy's house. He needs to go on Love on the Spectrum. That's his only shot. I got to try to get him on there. You're welcome, man. You're welcome, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. to answer more questions. Love you guys all very much. God bless.